brown mink coat transformed into a 20 by 60 bolster and 6 pom-poms. The project came out lovely. Here is the front of the brown mink coat jacket. It was perfect. The customer chose to use the inside of her lining. The embroidery was very pretty. Now I have to take the lining off. I have to be extremely careful because we are going to be using it for the backing of the bolster. The customer was given different options to use, so ultimately she still chose to use her own lining. As you can see, the lining is quite pretty. And here is a mock-up of what it would look like. Once the lining was removed, I hand washed it in cold water, and I washed it until it ran clear, and then I put it in this little portable washing machine. I didn't wash it in there. I just used it to spin the water out, so I didn't actually have to wring it. The fibers are delicate, and here it is hanging, waiting to dry. And then I moved on to deconstructing the actual coat. This fur was in excellent condition. It's sewed together very, very well. You could tell it was very well taken care of. Once it was all cut out, I then had to mark the fur. So I used this quilting ruler. It is a 20.5-inch square, and it was perfect because the fur, I only needed to make 3 of those panels, and I had to add some together to create an additional panel, but it really worked out quite nicely. I'm flipping it over because I am going and marking away from the 1/2 inch. Once that was done, I took the cold tape and I laid it along the lines, making sure that it was perfectly squared, and then I'm going to use those lines to accurately cut out the panels. And the cold tape is there to give added support. Again, I'm cutting on the outside of that line, making sure that is cut perfectly straight, because this is going to be the back part of, actually this is going to be the front part of the bolster. And we purchased the insert just to make sure that everything fit together properly. Once the lining was dried, pressed, ironed, I then added an iron-on interfacing on the back to help support the fabric, because the fabric is delicate. And I'm going to be cutting that 20 by 60 as well. I'm also going to have to cut out some extra fabric for the flap that's going to be above the zipper. And the zipper is almost 60 inches long as well. It'll have a nice big opening, so this way it's easy to take the pillow form in and out. Once all those panels are sewn together and cut straight, I am then going to start trimming. Now that it is all, like I said, sewn together, I'm going to trim away any of the excess. And you can see how lovely that looks. I'm going to now layer it as like a sandwich, putting right sides together. On the bottom goes the lining, and then on the top will be the fur, but the fur is going to be right side down. On top of the fur is a lightweight cotton to help protect the fur. And here is what the final project looked like. It really came out very nice. It's so lovely. It's soft. The customer chose a down insert. It's just really pretty. And then on to making a pom-pom. Customer wanted 6 pom-poms, so I used a 5-inch bowl to make the perfect circles. And I'm going to take the furrier knife and I'm going to follow that circle all the way around, being very, very careful with it. Once all the circles are cut, then I'm going to make the inside of the pom-pom, which is just polyfill and a elastic tie. And that polyfill has to be a little bit substantial, so I have a small piece right now, and then I'm going to add to it later on. I take a glover's needle and I run a stitch about a 1/4 inch from the outside, and I use a fairly strong thread, and I'm going to pull it and cinch it, and then I'm going to add the polyfill on the inside, and that's what it looks like when it's done. And here they are. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Come visit us at dinahsquilts.com.